Hi, in this video, I want to take you through the best formatting and auditing tool under Excel. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to come to Professor Edward Bodmer's website and download the file that I will show you today. So just I need to introduce that this tool has been developed by my good friend and mentor Professor Edward Bodmer. So you can go to his website at edbodmer.com and then you scroll down. He has a lot of materials there, by the way, so if you want to check it out, please just go and you'll be amazed. So you see that there is this box here, generic macro file with Shift Control R and Control Alt C, and there are so many other options that we will see today. So just click on that one and download the generic macro file. I already have it, so it's sitting on my desktop. So once you download that, it's in Excel. So you just open the Excel file and you will see that you have this beautiful worksheet. So once you open it, you just go and say implement initial. At the same time that you are opening the generic macro file, you need to also open the file that you want to format or you want to audit. Okay, so they are both of them are open now. I have a file which is a simple solar project. So as you can see, this file has no formatting, and I just didn't bother with formatting when I was building it. Now that I'm done with this sheet, I want to just with a click do all the formatting, and that's what this tool is doing for us. So I come to that sheet that I want to format, and I'm gonna press Control Alt and C. All right, so once you do that, a window will pop up with all these beautiful options and colors that you can pick and choose among them. But I mean, as you know, one of the basic standards is that you have to harmonize the color codes that you are using across your worksheet, so across all the sheets in your model. So we will pick one and we will stick to it in all the worksheets in the model. So the first option that you have here, in this section is the input color option. So okay, so you decide that okay, wherever I see this yellow background with a blue font, this is an input, and I'm going to keep it the same across all my model. So that's the one which is chosen. So normally these inputs would only appear in the sheets that you call them inputs. So if you have a calculation sheet, which is the case now in the one that I want to color code, I don't have any inputs. Maybe it's like the beginning balance 0, but basically, there are no inputs in the calculation sheets. That's also one of the standards. All right, so this one is checked. Then the next one is the column title, color title, or sum column. Okay, so we have two options here. The first one is the title column. So for example, you want to start with the revenue and then you have OPEX. So you put the title revenue in the column A, and then you put OPEX again in the column A, and you want to color code it differently. We will show here just to tell you that this is for the title column that you want to color code it. So this one is in A. For mine is the titles are in A, the subheadings, let's call it. And I want to color it, let's say, among these options that are here. I will show you that we can also customize this. But for now, let's stick to what we have here. For example, I want to choose the number 4, which is like green background. All right, so we choose this one. And then the next section is that you need to see, usually in the standard financial models, you have one column dedicated to the sum of the whole, rows. So that one you might want to color code it differently so that the user, when they first see the model, they know that, okay, that's the sum total of the row. All right. So this one, the input that you need to give here is where is that column? Okay. So you have to go back to your sheet and find out the column and just input it here. Is it in J? Is it in H? In mine is in H. Okay. So we'll come back to it. So this is in H. And then I will type in H, and then I choose one of them. Okay. So I would say I would go with this one, this light blue one. And I can choose, you see the some border here on the bottom here. So I would like to have a border there, you know, I kind of make it more visible to have a border for the sum column. So I would choose these light dots, all right? So it's going to give me the blue box with light dots. Perfect. The next thing is that, as you know, to make the model flexible, the timing, flags and everything, we need to create some flags in the model, the code 0 and 1, 0 and 1, so that the model is dynamic for in terms of timing, in terms of many things. So usually you want to maybe color code them differently so that the user sees where it's 1, where is 0, when is the construction period, where is the operation period. So you can color code it differently. So Edward is giving us these options. We can, of course, customize it. We will come back to it. But for now, let's stick to this one. So if the flag is true or is 1, so he modified it. You can also have, if you don't have true and false and you work with 0 and 1, you also have the option. So well, let's pick this one, number 4, which is blue for true and red for false. Perfect. Next section is that, you know, some of the auditing firms, they require that if you are importing a line or a row from another sheet to your sheet and you're using it for their calculation, for example, if you are using the profit before tax to calculate corporate income tax in your tax sheet, maybe that profit line, which is coming from the P&L sheet, you want to color code it differently. So every time that you are using or you are importing a line from another sheet, you color code it differently. And Edward is giving us these options here, green, blue. So I will go with the green one. Okay, so whenever I see a green, I say, okay, this is not a calculation within this sheet. This calculation is coming from another sheet. All right, the other options that we have here in this last column is, you know, sometimes you have like on the top of the worksheet, you have like the start, the dates, or you have some checks, and they are just the same thing across all your sheets, right? So you want to color code maybe those first top rows differently. Okay, and he has given us this option here. I will go with green one, same thing I chose for the title. I will go with number 3, and this one will be a green. And then you need to see how many of the top rows you want to color code. So for example, I will go with 6. Okay, I will come here and I will tap 6. All right, so now that I'm done, I will double check that everything is okay. And I'm sure once I'm done with this stuff, with these customizations, I will go and I will click on color sheet on top, the red button. All right, so you're ready? Let's go. Okay, it takes a little bit of time, but not much. My file is big. It has a lot of worksheet, but in and also with the camera, you know, it's just a little bit slower than when you do it on your computer. All right, perfect. So it is done now. Beautiful, you see? So now everything is color coded and beautiful. As you can see, this is what I chose for the flags. This is the one I told you that the first 6 top rows will be color coded differently, and everything is done. Sorry, I have some errors in this model I need to check. And yeah, so as you can see, it is beautifully color coded, and I can do it for all of them. So now that I defined it once for the same, I don't need to do the customization. I come to the second sheet that I want to color code using the same formatting that I used in the previous one. So I simply come to my second sheet and I say Control, Alt, and C. Beautiful. So we are here. So everything is the same as I defined previously. So it is like it has this intelligence of sauvegarder, of saving the customization that we did previously. So once I come to the second one, I just say color sheet. All right, so it's doing the coloring, and soon it will be over and we will see. As you can see, this is saving a hell lot of time, you know, instead of you doing it one by one, it is just with a click. All right. Okay, here you go. Second one done. You see, as you can see, everything is done. Beautiful. And this is what I chose. If you don't like these color codes, you can just modify it in the model. This is what I chose. Okay. And you come and do the same thing here. As you can see, it's going to be faster. Boom. You just press on the color sheet and you just look at your sheet for a moment, and then it will be over. Okay, awkward silence. All right. Beautiful. All right, so as you can see, this is done, you know, I mean, you do it for each of the worksheet and the color coding will be done. And as I said, this is all up to you. You have all these options here, you know, to choose from. And let's do it also for the inputs, you know, so that you see, because here I didn't have any inputs. Let's go to the input sheet. For example, I have this input C sheet, okay? So here I have all these hard-coded figures. I don't have any hard-coded figures in any of the calculation sheets. So this one I want to color code the input sheet. So I come, same thing, Control, Alt, and C, so that I have my beautiful menu. So this one I keep the same, right? So input color option 2, I like this one and I will keep it. This one I keep it the same color, column A, the titles. I want to color code it differently, but here it's an input sheet, so I don't have a sum. So this one I will uncheck it, make sure that it is unchecked because I don't have a sum sheet. And same thing for flags. Maybe I don't need flag in the input sheets because I don't have any calculations here, so I don't need it. Keep this one because sometimes if you're using, you know, if you're importing some inputs or some calculations from other sheets to the input sheet, just keep it there. It's not going to harm. And this one you can keep it the same. Maybe I would just reduce it to 2 because I don't have those big titles, you know, on the top row. So I will keep it to 2. Just say the rest will remain the same. All right, now let's press on color sheet. So as you can see here now, what we will see is that all the hard-coded inputs, all the hard-coded figures will be color-coded as I define here. It will be light yellow with the blue fonts. Okay, so beautiful. As you can see here, that's it. So this is all here. And it's all color coded so that now you can tell the users that wherever you see a light yellow box with a blue font, this is an input that you can change and you can modify. But if it is black, you don't change it. It's a calculation. Okay. The last thing that I want to show you, I mean, there are a couple of other things that I want to show you, but the last thing I want to show you in this video, and if you're interested, let me know and I will just upload another video with the customization of the other stuff that you can add here. All right. Perfect. Okay, thank you so much. And as I said, let me know if you want me to expand on this one and tell you about the multiple other capabilities that this tool has. All right, perfect. Thank you for watching.